Category 1. It's easily going to hit 2. It may hit Category 3 before landfall. And I'm not sure what's wrong with the cats over here at RT that have next week in the headline. They have it dated today. It's this week that it's all happening. And they also say next Wednesday. It is this Wednesday. It is within the coming days. This thing is making its way through the Gulf. I can show you guys the path. But right now, they're saying a state of emergency declared. Winds of up to 100 miles an hour by landfall.
Hey guys, it's Monday, 2:39 p.m. on October 8th, 2018. And we've been told that there is a hurricane right here. That there is a hurricane happening right here on the tip of Cuba. It's called Hurricane Michael. And yet, within 60 miles of the eye of the hurricane, we are getting 15-mile-an-hour wind speeds. That is not consistent with what we are being told by the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administrator's Office, which tells us that the eye of the hurricane extends out 175 miles. Okay? That means we should have tropical storm force winds extending outward 175 miles.
Security. And at that Homeland Security meeting, you can see the link here, Hurricane Hacking, the Department of Homeland Security enters the weather modification business. Dr. Mash Alamaro from MIT had a paper called On Hurricane Modification by Carbon Black Dispersion, Method, Risks, Mitigation, and Risk Communication. The presentation focused on the use of carbon black aerosol, instead of dust, they call it CBA, to selectively heat parts of the atmosphere by dispersion of CBA above a hurricane. And you can see over here in this diagram, they show soot coming from a C-130, which is a U.S. Air Force plane, being dumped out of the back into a hurricane. Fleet of transport aircraft flying at 50,000 feet drop soot in the path of targeted areas of a hurricane. And you can see the soot cloud here. Soot is warmed by the sun, heating the cool air around it at the very top of the hurricane. This reduces the flow of air within the hurricane and it slows it down. Depending on where and when the soot is dropped, the now weakened hurricane will change course. So here we go. Same idea from 1974, Gray et al., carbon black dust absorption of solar energy, but presented by Dr. Masha Alamaro at the Department of Homeland Security to steer hurricanes today, to establish cause, effects, and outcomes of the CBA dispersion, and to develop methods to communicate risk to the public.
Eye of this alleged hurricane. And yet, what we see within 60 miles of the eye of this hurricane, within 60 miles, you guys, all we're seeing are wind speeds of 15 miles an hour. How is that possible? If there's actually a hurricane here, let's take a look at some other places we can actually measure to see if there's a hurricane. Because thanks to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administrator's Office, you guys, we have tons of buoys in the water, tons of them, and guess what they measure? They measure wind speeds, and these wind speeds are 24, 11, 14, 14, 15, 12, 8, 12, 33. One ship measured 33 mile-an-hour winds. Let's just convert that, or 33 knot winds, which is 39 miles an hour. That's not even a tropical storm force winds. So we do not even have a tropical storm being demonstrated on any of the buoys within the area. And make no mistake, you guys, these are the observations from the winds from the buoys that are near this Hurricane Michael. Okay, now.
Monday, October 8th, 2018. We're going to take a quick look at Tropical System Michael. Now, if projections are right on this storm, this will be the fourth storm in the past year to go right over this paved pause unit in the panhandle of Florida at England Air Force Base. Now, how I found out about this, which is part of the space fence, how I found out about this was, this is from January 25th, 2017. And I noticed all this interference down here. Now, this is called digital pings and digital scoreboards. But anyways, this is like heterodyning mixture of frequencies causing interference on the next rad.